I should have been recording that. So I set up the parameters here, one for the pipe diameter, one for the bend radius. It'll give me my radius there. I took the diameter of the pipe, divided by 2 so I can know the radius of it. And then I put in what radius I want for it to do the bend. And so I'm gonna go back here, edit the sketch, and now when I dimension this, I want it to be 10, so I'm gonna do 10 plus pipe diameter, or minus, right? If I want this to be the outside, 10 minus pipe diameter.
So it's like an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. And I want to make this one 5 minus pipe diameter divided by 2, because I only need to go the radius of it going that way. And then I need to add my fillets. And this is going to be bend radius. So now when I do my pipe, I got that.
Is this only in this part, or will this be in all of
It's just this one part.
So like you'll have to redo this again if you start another part?
Yeah. But you could just, copy that part and then just change your numbers. And I probably should have, if I did more parameters, I probably could have added those other parameters to here and just done it all the math. And because if I go here, watch, I can just change this to be 1/2-inch pipe. I can change that to be a 1-inch bend there. So maybe I should have left this just where I type in the bend radius and then done the math over here instead. So maybe I'll do that. So I'm gonna just make that. There. So now when I do it on my parameters, it's just what I want. But if I just go here, I can look and see all those equations also. So like I could add parameters here called width and length. So I could, add width on that 10, and then I want that 6. So now I can change these to be width and height. So now in the part, on my sketch, those are all just calling the things here. So now if I want to change it, I can just go in here and say 11, 3, 22, right? So I can just go in there and start plugging in new values and get whatever I want. So this is one of those kind of the things that when I was going through, they didn't teach me. I had to learn it way later. But in real life, when I'm doing projects, a lot of times you do a lot of things that are kind of the same but just different sizes. This lets you draw one thing, like you were saying, just saves a different name, change the size of it, and it's done. You don't.
When doing 90-degree bends, how does this work? Does it still do it?
Yeah, just instead of on your sketch, instead of making them straight up, instead of making it perpendicular.
It'll still do the calculation.
Well, we haven't even gotten to that stretch out part yet. But instead of doing the perpendicular here, maybe I'd instead of doing that one vertical, I'd take that off and I'd make this one horizontal. And now I can dimension here to here, leave that 90, dimension that one to there, make that 90. So now when I go in here, and maybe I can make a new one called angle. So,
Angle 98.
okay, fine. Ah. Right, get rid of that one. Angle, and I want that to be an angle in degrees. Call 90. Good catch. Angle, angle. So now maybe I make this one 5, and now I make that angle 120. Or I make that angle 45. Would not want. Oh, it's not gonna let me do that one for some reason.
I don't want to let you do 80.
I don't know.
75.
Oh, probably because I need to go to a bigger bend radius. That's because it's gonna hit itself. So probably my bend radius needs to be bigger. No, it's weird. Why won't it let me? It's weird that. There you go. Yeah. So for some reason when we do that too much, it changes this. That along the distance thing. I don't know. Something's going on with. Oh, did I make those hollow? Is that why? Oh, look at the bend.
Oh.
It doesn't like that. So probably if I made this bend smaller. So the bend rate is. There we go. It was bending on itself. That's why. So you have to make it so it can actually work. So if I made these ones here longer, then no problem. It's just my legs were too short and it was trying to bend backwards. So it's always user error when it doesn't work. For here, just like under your constraints, how you get those set up. But this lets you do kind of that stuff. So let's go back to the 90. What the? What the heck? Oh, that distance. For some reason that distance is going off. But so we've got this here, and if I make a drawing from this, so I dimension this. right click on it, radius, there we go. There's my piece, right? That's what I changed my dimensions to here. So I've got my bent up view, and if I want to show them that, yes, it is round, you know, I can do that so you can see it's round pieces there. I can call out that. Come on. There we go. Diameter. There we go. So I could call that out, but usually I just call this out in the title block, right, as a material. Just call it 1/2 inch rod or whatever. But now I want to do the stretched out view of it. Any ideas on what to do? I want to do the stretched out, the unfolded version.
Hold the flag down.
I want the flat pattern of this. Any ideas? So I've got this thing here. I want to unfold this.
Would it be in the sheet metal?
If I want to do a flat pattern, I have to come to sheet metal. That's for sure.
I think I see it there. I don't remember which symbol it is. Is that a create?
So can I unfold round stuff?
No.
Is round stuff sheet metal?
You need to slice it in half.
No. So I can't use this directly. I have to cheat. What do you think the cheat is?
Go back to your line. Measure your original drawing.
No.
Yeah. Very different configuration.
Think of it. What do I need? What do I want it to get? What do I want on here? What's the flat pattern going to look like?
Long line. Straight height.
Is it going to be round at all on the flat pattern?
No.
It's going to be a rectangle, right?
Yeah.
So does the material being round matter?
No.
So what am I going to do?
Convert to
I'm going to draw something flat. I'm going to make a piece of sheet metal that's basically a square, right? Make it the width that I need. So here it's 1/2 inch, so I'm going to make it 1/2 inch wide. And I want to make it whatever size it is. So just to make it kind of easy, I'm going to go in here, create a sheet metal rule, and I'm going to make it how thick? Why is it not? I was hoping to pull up I'd use my same things. I'm going to make it 1/2 inch thick. Actually, I'm going to call this. There we go. And now I'm going to do a sketch here. Because remember in Fusion we can kind of turn stuff on and off. So I'm just going to do a sketch over here. I want to make this dimension here, what?
total length of your original line.
Oops. I need to create a new component, right?
Yeah.
So new component. Tell it to use that 1/2 inch profile. Okay, there we go. Now I can create a sketch. Oh, there's not width, it's width. I'm gonna just use that width. And then this one, I'm gonna use my pipe. So it's the right size there. I'm gonna finish it and turn it into a sheet metal flange. Now it's a square. What's the next thing I need to do? I need to do my flanges, right? So I'm I'm going to flange it there. Oops, not there. There. And there. And so my height is going to be my, I called it depth, I thought. Did I call it height? Yeah. And then I'm going to override my rules and do my bend radius as bend radius. Come on.
Check the body parameters.
Is it because your radius is bigger than thickness?
No, it should do it. I swear I've done this before. It didn't go this way. Oh. What the heck?
You took the top instead of the bottom.
What? I did. I know. Oh. It shouldn't matter. No.
No, still uses his core.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So. So I want inside, outer face there.
Is it because of bend relief?
There. It doesn't want to do it the same width that it is thick, for some reason. So I cheated. I made it 100 thousandths bigger. Sometimes in Fusion, that's like sometimes Fusion doesn't like certain numbers. Just make it really, really close. Because does that really going to change anything? No. So now I can do my flat pattern. There, hit OK. It unfolds it. Great. Finish it. And now I can stick that on my drawing. So right click on it, create drawing. I want the flat pattern. I want to put it on that drawing that I already have, on that sheet that I already have. Hit OK. Boom. Uh-oh. New stuff came out here because now that I've added that component, it added the component here. So I want to turn off the component there. So just this check mark turns off that component in this view. And so now I have this one. So now I can go in here, turn off my bend extents, and now I can dimension this. And if I dimension it, it is only giving me 1/2 inch, right? Because that's what it is.
Do you need to do that 2 times though?
No, you could say typical. So I can do it once. And add, and say typical. Or you can do it from each side. Just
When you
kind of, it's nice on a sheet metal to kind of show all the bends. A lot of times on sheet metal, I'll even do it ordinate dimensioning. So doing it this one right here, ordinate, where I can call it a 0. And I can just call out how far it is from that point. Because it takes up less space, especially if you have a lot of, like you mentioned this had like 7 bins on it.
Yeah.
If I was using baseline, which is the other way, that dimension would be like way out here, right? But in ordinate, they all stay real close. But now I have my flat pattern here. I can do my bin list, my bin table. Since I have 2 different views, I have to pick a view. Pick the flat pattern view. If you try and pick the other view, it's not going to work. And now I can say here, and it tells me my table. And because I'm having it float, why won't it let me? All right, fine. I'll just leave it there. All right, but it's label them. Why does it say down?
That's the direction it's been.
Yeah, and they're both going the same, so it's okay. But the reason I do that is because if one's going up and one's going down, if they're going in opposite directions, now you know which way they're going. Or if it's not symmetric, you know, okay, from this, looking at it this way, these are going down or they're going up, so that they get bent the right way.
When you imported this flat pattern,
Uh huh.
it brought in the other one.
Yep, because
The other one didn't match this one exactly, so is the length still correct?
it does match exactly.
Did it? I thought it looked different.
The radius on the pipe is bigger than that.
Oh, the bent radius is wrong. Ooh, good catch. Because we didn't fix that. So I want to go here. There we go.
And that'll automatically update to the.
Well, save the part. Go in here, refresh. There it goes. Now you can see it changed those distances. This got shorter. And so there we go. And so now I have these things, and if I want to go in, I can adjust the parameter, and I'll adjust both the pieces.
So if we hadn't caught that, how would if we were just looking at the drawings, there's no way we can know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of, you know, turn this other piece on, this other component on. Now you can see the 2 pieces. But yeah, it's just going here and be like, those are not the same. You just have to be here and be like, oh, those aren't right, because they don't match. So, but if you're doing this with an assembly of other stuff, you wouldn't want to keep this one here, so you just turn it off. And probably I could have drawn it in that same exact spot as the other one, right? If I had made this right here. Oh, it's going down instead of up, but, right? I guess I should have put it up there, but whatever. I can put it there now, I can see them better. But I could have also, yeah, if I'd sketched up here, I could have made it perfectly lined up on top of it, or I could just move it there now, right? So instead of, yeah. Right? Because I can just go back to here, and I can just assemble it from the center of that face to the center of that face, to be on top of it. And now I know that, oh yeah, they're exactly the same. And then I just turn off the square one while I'm working. But I know that that's there, so if I need to make drawings for it or whatever. But if I go in and change my parameters, I make that 15, that they both changed. Because I use the parameter on both. So that's kind of the benefit of doing the parameters. So save that. come over here, update it, everything fixes. So, okay. So that's kind of one that it took me a while to figure out, and I had to figure out while I was working, because I was like, I did a bunch of round stuff, like, how am I gonna do all this? It's like, oh, just make it flat and just make it look the same, because it doesn't matter here. It just needs to be the same width, and because we can't see the depth of it or anything, then it works. Okay? Does that make sense? Kind of?